discard them into an appropriate, what we would, as an evidence response team member, you would bring in a box that is for garbage. Hey, anything that we brought in, anything that's going to be discarded goes into that box so we can remove.
Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Good Day Chicago.
Good Friday morning and welcome to Good Day Chicago. I'm Brian Jackson. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following this morning, including some breaking news out of Bronzeville. One person is heard following a stabbing on one of the CTA Green Line trains. And business owners come together to urge Mayor Brandon Johnson to veto the city's hemp ban. And just in time for Valentine's weekend, get ready for some warmer temperatures and plenty of sunshine as well. Just how warm are we talking this morning, Mike Kaplan?
I think we're good for 50s today, Brian. Yesterday hit 40 degrees, a little cooler at the lake, a little warmer west. Good morning, everybody. Skies are clear out there, and that's going to enable temperatures to heat up in a hurry. We should be in the low 50s here this afternoon. 35 by 9, plenty of sun at noon, 47. And there you are, 50 degrees at 4 o'clock, just off our high for the day. That said, it's still kind of chilly out there. We've got 17 at Aurora, the usual cold spot, 21 at Joliet, 21 at Chicago Heights, but it's 27 at the lakefront, 23 at Woodstock, and 23 now in Valparaiso. Right?
Right now, following some breaking news this morning, Chicago police are investigating a stabbing on the CTA Green Line. It happened just before 2:30 this morning on an actual train car. This was the scene overnight at the Green Line station at 47th Street near Calumet Avenue. Police said that the victim, a 44-year-old man, was hit in the face by a sharp object. He was taken to a hospital and is currently listed in fair condition. Police are currently looking for the suspect. Business owners are calling on Mayor Brandon Johnson to veto the ban on intoxicating hemp products. That ban will go into effect in Chicago starting April 1st. Under this ban, many products could be seized and the owner could face thousands of dollars in fines. Business owners say that they welcome safety standards and regulations, but they feel banning the hemp business is extreme and has a negative impact on minority-owned establishments. The Hemp Coalition came together for a rally in order to make one final push to convince city leaders and the public to help them stay alive.
Our entire business would shut down, and that would be very unfortunate. And then we have our employees we'd have to lay off. And then there's other realities where, in my case, I have leases that I'm still obligated for. And being a small business, I can't just walk away from the leases.
Time after time, a lot of minority owners, a lot of small business owners get left behind and not even willing, and we're not even allow them a fair shot.
And business owners also believe alcohol and cannabis industries are putting them out. The Cook County Public Guardian's Office is criticizing DCFS in the case of 8-year-old Markel Pierce. He is the young boy who died in Round Lake Beach. His mother and her boyfriend are now facing charges. Prosecutors say that the child's mother and her boyfriend engaged in long-term patterns of both mental and physical abuse. DCFS claims that the family was not receiving any services and could not provide any other information because of confidentiality issues. The Cook County Public Guardian says that their response is unacceptable and also untrue.
DCFS's statement was very slippery, frankly. It said that the family was not receiving services in the present tense. Well, was it ever receiving services in the past? We don't know. DCFS won't respond. In terms of confidentiality, that is just not true. DCFS has explicit authority under the law to release information when a child that DCFS was involved with has died. DCFS is not being transparent. Why? I can't tell you because we don't have the information.
According to Goldberg, there have been cases where DCFS has released a detailed timeline of its involvement with a family. Well, caught on camera, video shows a robbery happening right in broad daylight in the Fulton Market neighborhood. This is at the corner of Lake and Peoria near the Mondoles headquarters. Two men robbed the 49-year-old victim. One of the suspects did have a gun. The men then got away in a Range Rover. Anyone with any information is asked to please call Chicago police. Well, controversy continues over building a new data center in the city of Aurora. City officials invited the public to an open house to give residents a chance to review proposed rules for data centers moving forward. As of right now, there's a 180-day moratorium on building a new data center in the city. That temporary pause is set to expire March 25th. Many residents have concerns about the amount of water and electricity a data center uses, and also the impact it could have on their utility bills.
I think we just need to put some guardrails in place. And there are some examples of data centers that have looked at using water conservatively, or to try to install solar so that their energy isn't making a huge impact on the grid.
One proposal the city of Aurora may consider is having each new data center be approved through the city council's conditional use process. Well, now nearly 2 weeks in, hundreds of detectives are working on the case of missing Nancy Guthrie, with investigators so far receiving thousands of tips. Investigators were back at Nancy Guthrie's home with what appeared to be video forensic analysis equipment. Officials may be trying to get more clues from the cryptic surveillance video that was released earlier this week, showing a masked person right outside of her home.
Things we can see with the mask, like eyes, nose bridge, mouth shape, and of course the shape and depth of the face. The FBI uses all these things, including an analysis of height and weight, which I'm sure they have, to come up with the idea for a potential subject.
The Pima County Sheriff is asking neighbors with home surveillance cameras to send in their footage. Investigators are looking for anything. It could be cars, pedestrians, or anything out of the ordinary that happened between January 1st and February 2nd. A developing story we're following. The Department of Homeland Security is now heading toward a shutdown after lawmakers failed to pass a funding bill for the agency. The shutdown would impact the TSA, the U.S. Coast Guard, FEMA, and other divisions. Senate Democrats have demanded immediate reforms to ICE operations and procedures, such as agents taking their mask off and identifying themselves, while Republicans have opposed tying policy changes to funding bills, arguing that DHS and ICE should be funded without any conditions. Lawmakers have until the end of the day to avoid another partial government shutdown. Back here at home, this bright yellow billboard in Bucktown offering a free burrito, as people are raising some questions about safety, especially when it comes to drivers. Now, in order to claim that offer, you would need to pull out your phone and scan the QR code. Many are worried that this could lead to distracted driving. This week, a social media post about the ad sparked hundreds of interactions online, with local officials starting to take notice. The situation just really begs the question, should QR codes be allowed on billboards?
This is super busy. In the morning, basically people going to work downtown or to the suburbs. It's a highway entrance right nearby. Obviously, we're starting to get contacted in a way that's like, hey, this could be a distraction. But the thing I would say to that is if it's not offensive, it's a free speech issue, then you as a driver have to be responsible for the way you drive. And pulling out your phone to take a QR code off this, on the screen is probably not responsible at all.
A representative for the restaurant did speak with Fox Chicago, saying that the ad was only supposed to be up for a limited time and should have been taken down back in mid-January. They tell us that they have contacted the Billboard company and asked for them to remove the sign. Well, Cubs continue with spring training in warm Arizona. There's already a lot of big expectations for your team, Mike.
How can they not win the NL Central? How can they not win? All right, Cubs wrapped up day 2 of spring training in Mesa yesterday. Despite the Game 5 loss in the NLDS to the Brewers last season, it still gave the team a taste of making a postseason run. Now, according to Jed Hoyer, in his career, some of the best seasons come after a postseason run that fell short. The Cubs are now setting out to turn disappointment into motivation as they prepare for the 2026 season. But more importantly, getting back to the playoffs. Our own Tina Nguyen got a chance to sit down with Cub pitcher Matthew Boyd about the team's goals.
The goal last year, obviously, was to win a World Series, and you don't, you put that, you have that goal, and you put it on the back shelf, and you take care of day after day after day after day. Mm-hmm. And if we did, it was a good season for us, but we left with a definite hunger after coming up short in Milwaukee in Game 5 there, and something that I know that all of us believe we're better now, and we got some awesome dudes in our clubhouse with some new names and faces that are going to help us get there, that are just immensely talented. So we're really excited to get after it.
I'm looking for a big year from him on the mound. Let's see how we do. All right, they could play a game today at Rate Field at Wrigley. We're going to have temperatures in the 50s later on. Skies are clear. This really may end up shaping up to be the nicest day of the year so far. That said, it is still cold out there right now, so make sure the kids got the coats on this morning. It'll still be in the upper 20s, but look how quickly we warm up about a 20-degree bump by noon, and then into the low 50s we go this afternoon. Bright sunshine all day long. I mean, this is going to be beautiful. It won't even be that windy out there. We've got 28 right now at Chicago's lakefront, 24 at DeKalb and Morris, 21 at Joliet. In Valparaiso, Michigan City, Gary and Rensselaer is 23. And look at Benton Harbor suffering from that offshore wind. You've got only 15 degrees there, the cold spot. So highs today, unlike yesterday where there was a distinct difference between lakeside communities and Southwest, today it's a pretty uniform distribution of low 50s across the area. It'd be a little bit cooler in Michiana, but again, this is unseasonable warmth, and you're going to see pretty much nothing but sunshine throughout the day. Here's a look at our Weather Authority Futurecast, giving us a clear bill of health through the day today. Tonight should be mainly clear as well. Now, all week long, I've been telling you a storm system is going to be missing us to the south. I still believe that is the case this weekend. We pick up a little bit of cloud cover coming off the lake tomorrow, and I think tomorrow it will be a little bit cooler along the lake shore, but we're going to miss out on that whole storm system tomorrow night into Sunday. And on Sunday, I think we're going to see plenty of sunshine with temperatures going even warmer than what we have the next couple of days. Let's settle for a 52 today, mostly sunny and spectacular, unseasonably mild with a southwest wind at 5 to 15. That's a quick check of today's forecast.
Well, coming up on Good Day, the surge of ICE agents in Minnesota is coming to an end. We'll explain how the state's governor is responding when Good Day Chicago returns. Here's a look at some of your top stories this morning. We're following some breaking news out of Bronzeville. Chicago police are investigating a stabbing on the CTA Green Line. Police say a 44-year-old man was on the train when someone injured him with a sharp object before running away. The victim suffered an injury to his face and received help by CFD. As of right now, no arrests have been made. Business owners are calling on Mayor Brandon Johnson to veto the ban on intoxicating hemp products. The ban goes into effect in Chicago starting April 1st. Under the ban, many products could be seized and the owner could face thousands of dollars in fines. Many feel banning the hemp business is extreme and has a negative impact on minority-owned businesses. But the Cubs continue with their spring training down in Arizona. They wrapped up day 2 yesterday in Mesa. The Cubs are using their Game 5 loss in the NLDS last season as motivation for making another postseason run. A lot of high expectations for the Northsiders, including the goal of winning another World Series. Well, Minnesota leaders are speaking out after President Trump's border czar announces that he is ending the surge of ICE agents in the state of Minnesota. Border czar Tom Homeland believes that the state is now safer following those immigration enforcement operations. For the past 2 months, there have been protests and the deadly shootings of 2 U.S. citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Following this announcement, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called out the border czar and the Trump administration for their actions in Minneapolis and across the state of Minnesota.
They left us with deep damage, generational trauma. They left us with economic ruin in some cases. They left us with many unanswered questions. Where are our children? Where and what is the process of the investigations into those that were responsible for the deaths of Renee and Alex?
Governor Walz also thanked all of the Minnesota residents for what they've endured during the past 2 months. Greenhouse gases emitted from cars, trucks, and power plants will no longer be federally regulated. The Trump administration is reversing an Obama-era ruling known as the endangerment finding. For nearly 2 decades, the federal government has regulated those emissions after the EPA determined that greenhouse gases pose a threat to public health and could be regulated under the Clean Air Act. President Trump argues that the finding is unnecessarily expensive and threatens American energy dominance.
Under the endangerment finding, they forced the hated start-stop feature onto American consumers, which unnecessarily shuts off a car's engine when you stop at a red light.
The White House says this repeal will save Americans roughly $1.3 trillion. That is in part due to making new vehicles cheaper. But critics argue that any short-term gains would ignore the longer-term impact of climate pollution. This repeal is likely to face legal challenges since the Supreme Court affirmed that greenhouse gases are air pollutants subject to Clean Air Act regulation. Time is out 4:47. Taking a look at the weekend. What kind of temperatures are we talking about, Mike?
50s. Except next week when we may have a couple days of 60s.
We're not going to. Oh, even better. I actually thought you were going to go in the opposite direction. Okay.
Well, maybe at the end of next week we'll go down, but just a little bit. Yeah, today's going to be beautiful. Sunshine. Temperatures warming up smartly, but it's chilly. I mean, look at that Aurora temperature, which we know it's Sugar Grove, not downtown Aurora. I'm sure you're in the 20s there in the city, but look, it's a jacket-worthy morning. 26 at O'Hare, 26 degrees, actually 25 now in Merrillville. So it's cold out there now. At least it isn't very windy, but temperatures are going to warm up in a hurry today, soaring well into the 50s. Take a look at our futurecast. Nothing but sunshine on the way today. The main storm track is displaced either way to the north or just to our south. That system is going to slide into central and southern Illinois and be a rainmaker there, but that is going to stay south of Chicagoland here this weekend. We may pick up a little bit of cloud cover from that, but that would be it. And as that low moves away, what it will do is generate a little bit of an east component to the wind, which means it'll be slightly cooler at the lake tomorrow and maybe on Sunday as well. Today, 52. It won't be cooler at the lake. Everybody's going to see plenty of sunshine. Tonight, dropping down right around freezing. A few spots will be in the upper 20s in the burbs. Let's call it 30 degrees for the official low. Mostly clear skies. Look at this. Tomorrow, beautiful for Valentine's Day. 54. Let's get to 55 on Sunday. 60 on President's Day. 55 on Tuesday, a little cooler at the lake. And then Wednesday, despite a few showers in the area, I think we can hit 62 degrees, and then we'll knock temperatures back a little bit with a few showers around on Thursday, right?
Well, coming up, it is Chicago Black Restaurant Week. We'll share details about this event when Good Day Chicago returns. Chicago is having its moment. That is what Mayor Johnson told business leaders, and he says he has the numbers to prove it. More than 200 civic and business leaders attended the panel with Mayor Johnson. They are part of the Executives Club's Soul of Chicago program in River North. The goal is to change the narrative and to show what is actually happening in the city of Chicago, an $886 billion regional economy, the biggest quantum tech hub in the country, and homicides at a 60-year low. Deputy Mayor Kenya Merritt put it in a way that really landed.
I think Chicago is having a renaissance right now. And so when we talk about success, and I know that you have the economic outlook, it's more than what you measure, it's what you feel.
Now we all know that one homicide and one shooting, one violent crime is one too many, but the truth of the matter is homicides are down. And we will not stop until Chicago is the safest, most affordable big city in America.
The panel also talked about Chicago winning half of all business relocation competitions that the city enters as of right now, and a $7 billion development coming to the city's west side. But get ready to eat. Chicago Black Restaurant Week is officially underway. It'll last through February the 22nd, and it coincides, of course, with Black History Month. For some local chefs, this year has a little bit more meaning.
So important that y'all get out here and support us, not just Soul Prime, but there's so many other restaurants, and we're just delighted. We're grateful to be a part of this.
These businesses deserve it, and you're going to eat good and drink good and whatever else good. Grab your cronies, get everybody out, and let's just eat.
I actually participated and went to the Duplex in Logan Square last weekend. You can learn more about Chicago Black Restaurant Week by visiting our website, fox32chicago.com, or by using the Fox Local app. And people are thinking about getting out to whether it's Black Restaurant Week or just Valentine's Day.
Sure.
We got some great temperatures, Mike.
We sure do. I was looking at that video. I think I may have seen some chicken and waffles in one of those shots. I'm not 100% sure. Ooh, that looked good. All right, the weather, wow. It is a wow here for the next several days. It's going to be mostly sunny. There'll be some clouds from time to time in the sky tomorrow. But, boy, what a run we're on, and we're going to continue it and build upon this warmth. Clear skies out there right now. Here's a look from the roof of our building. Here's a look from 23,000 miles up in space using infrared satellite technology. Nearest clouds are downstate or along the U.S.-Canadian border. I mean, this is going to be a beautiful sunny day. Now, with clear skies and light winds, take a look what happened to temperatures overnight. They have tanked. We've got a lot of 20s on here. 24 at Woodstock and Waukegan and Morris. 21 at Joliet and Chicago Heights. Northwest Indiana, it's low to mid-20s for you as well. O'Hare and Midway, a couple of the warmer spots. And along Chicago's lakefront, it is 28. Today, we're headed for 52 degrees. It was close to that a few days ago when we made it up to 49, but I think we're going to beat that today. Southwest winds at 5 to 15 will drive that warmth all the way to the lakefront, unlike yesterday when we had that lakeside cooling going on. Tonight, it gets chilly again. I'll put 30 up for the official low at O'Hare. A couple spots may get some upper 20s in there. Not much wind, but skies will be clear. 6 days in a row of 50 plus and a couple of realistic chances of hitting 60 here. I'm going 60 on Monday, 62 on Wednesday. Our chance of precipitation Tuesday night into Wednesday, and again on Thursday as a cold front comes through. It'll knock temperatures back a little bit. I certainly see no Arctic air and no snow in sight. 4:55. We'll be right back after this.
and Fox Local.
A federal judge is blocking the Pentagon from taking action against Senator Mark Kelly. He was among a group of lawmakers who released a video telling service members that they can refuse illegal orders. Kelly is a former Navy captain. Captain War Secretary Pete Hegseth tried to formally censure Kelly, claiming that the video was seditious, which could lead to a demotion in military rank and reduction in retirement pay. Senator Kelly sued to stop that discipline. The U.S. will send the world's largest aircraft carrier to the Middle East. The USS Gerald R. Ford's deployment comes after planned talks stalled between Iran and the U.S. earlier this week. The Ford joins the USS Abraham Lincoln warship and its missile destroyers already located in the region. The move puts more American firepower behind U.S. efforts to coerce Iran into a deal over its nuclear program. A top lawyer for Goldman Sachs resigns after emails reveal a close relationship to Jeffrey Epstein through his 2019 arrest. Kathy Ringler announced that she would step down as chief legal officer. The email showed her describing Epstein as, quote, an older brother and downplaying his sex crimes. She has served as Goldman Sachs' top lawyer since 2020. Her resignation goes into effect starting June 30th. The FTC is warning Apple over potential bias and boosting certain news sources. FTC Chairman Andrew Ferguson says Apple News could be in violation of the FTC Act, which prohibits unfair or